Hi, my name is Mrs. Lawson, and this is my how-to video on how to access your student Google Drive account if you are in the Ferguson-Florissant School District. This video is meant for everyone. Teachers, show this to your class to teach them how to use their Drive. Parents, check your child's Google Drive in case your child's teacher sent out copies of field trip forms, short messages to you, or assignments that you can help your child with. Students, your Google Drive account is the most helpful for you. Your Google Drive is like your own personal online folder. If you start writing a paper on the computer at school, you can put it in your Drive for safekeeping and access it from home. If you finish a report, you can share it with your teacher over Google Drive so he or she can edit it and make comments on it for you to fix. And if you're one of those kids that seems to lose things within 5 minutes of receiving it, then you can ask your teacher to share a copy of a field trip form, parent letter, spelling list, whatever it is, so you can print yourself out a new copy. So let's get started. The first thing that you need to do is go to www.google.com. In the right-hand corner near the top, you will see a blue sign-in button. Click on that. It will ask for your email and password. Now, since you are a student here in the Ferguson-Florissant School District, you were not given an email address, but you were given an ID login. So let me go and show you what that looks like. All of the student logins look pretty much the same. It will be your first name, lowercase, period, last name, all in lowercase, period, your grade at fergflor.org. So if you are a 6th grader, you would have your first name, period, last name, period, 06 at fergflor.org. 5th grader, 05, 12th grader, 12, 10th grader, 10. I can see that you're getting my point. So that would be where that spot that said email, so let me click back there, right here, that is where that information would be put in. The password. Let's say that your birthday is October 10th, 2001. This right here is what you would put in as your password. 10 for October, 10 for the day, and 2001 for the year. So if you were born April 15th, 2002, it would say 04152002. So that is your password. All right, so let's go back here to our main screen. I am going to type in, get off of here, I'm going to type in, it's going to look a little different. It's an example one. So example.student.05, so we're going to pretend that this student is a 5th grader. And we're going to go back to that October 10th, 2001 date, so it is 10-10-2001 for the password, and hit sign in. Now usually the very first time you sign into your Google Drive account, there will be some little nuts and bolts things that they'll have you read over and say that you accept it. After you do that, you will be taken to a screen that looks just like this. Looks just like the plain old Google screen, except look right up here. Right here, it will say your name. You can see it does say example.student.05. We're just pretending that that is that student's name. You'll click on this little, looks like a bunch of, actually it says apps when it comes up. Looks like a bunch of little boxes. You will click on that. If you're a student, you will not have this mail thing right here. Because I'm a teacher, mine shows up there, but as a student, it will say search, and it will also then say drive. Here's where you need to click, drive. All right, it's going to take you straight to this page. This is your main page. So you can see it says drive right here. Here's Ferguson-Florissant School District, making sure you're all on the right thing. And over here will be some activity from today, and then still your name is up here at the top. So let's go over here. If you just click on My Drive, it will show you just anything that's stuff that you've been working on the front. It's kind of like your front page, okay? Now, let's go over to Shared with Me. This is going to be where you're going to look if you are a student and your teachers have sent you work. So again, I clicked on Shared with Me over here on the left. Alright, so here's my name, Erin Lawson. I am pretending that I sent this 5th grader some different things. The first thing that we're going to look at is some snow day extra credit. You never know. I always tell my students to check because you never know, on your Google Drive I might have sent you some extra credit. Who knows? So I'm going to show you what to do next. You click on this document and then it takes you to a little thing. It almost looks a little bit kind of like Microsoft Word format, and then there is the document that your teacher sent to you. Looks just like this. Now, because when I sent the document out, I made sure that my students could edit it, so you can actually get right on here and edit it yourself. You can just make any kind of corrections, add things in. So this was one of the ones I had sent out for a snow day. List 4 things that make a great story, 4 things that make a great piece of writing, and as you can see, you can type right onto this document. Okay? So that's the first thing. Another thing that you can do, let's say that your teacher sent out a document and he or she made sure that you cannot actually get on there and edit it, so it would just look like this, but you would not be able to type on it. It would just be for you to look at or to possibly make comments on. So teachers, you can send out a piece of homework, and on the homework you could have the kids read something and then have them comment back to you on it, and you could grade them on those comments that they give back to you. Here's how to do that. Let's say that I want to make a comment on list 4 things that make a great piece of writing. You highlight that piece that you want to comment on. You go right up here to the right corner and click on Comments. Go right here to, as you can see, I already have some other comments being made. Go to Comment right here, add a comment, and there you go. You see that example student, which your name would appear right here. This example student wants to make a comment about list 4 things that make a great piece of writing. Okay. I think there are several things besides just 4 items that make a great piece of writing. Okay, and then you could give some examples and your teacher could grade you on that comment. Click comment, and there it is. This exact comment right here just got emailed to me because I had sent this to this student. So now when I check my email today, it will say that example student sent me this comment, and I would be able to give a quick grade right there. So teachers, Google Drive is really, really helpful to you too. Alright, so that's how to make a comment. Let's go back up here and go back to our Google Drive account, okay? Alright, so on the Snow Day Extra Credit, I taught you how to, you could just type right onto it, and, oh, and I forgot to show you something actually. Up here too, you guys, see where it says last edit was 1 minute ago? Guess what? You don't have to sit here and click save, save, save all the time. Whatever you add into here, plot, summary, characters, setting, whatever you add, look where here guys it said saving, all changes saved in the drive. You do not have to go up here and click share and do things like that. I'll show you that a little bit in just a second actually, but you don't have to click save all the time like how you would have to on Microsoft Word. It will automatically save it for you onto your drive. Okay, let's go back. Okay, so let's say that your teacher passed out a field trip form. For example, my students are getting ready to go to Sky Zone pretty soon. Your teacher passes out a field trip form, you lost it. You ask your teacher to put it onto Google Drive and send it to you, and your teacher does so. Here it is. It's in your Shared with Me folder, Sky Zone field trip form. Let's click on that and see what happens. Now this one is a little bit different. me as the teacher, when I sent this out, I made sure not to put that the kids can make comments and can edit it. I just wanted them to be able to view it. And teachers, you can put that on there, and I'll show you how to. So I just wanted them to be able to view this permission slip form. So if a student, if you're home and you need to print another copy for yourself, you just bring this up, come down here, and you can click on print. Another thing that you can do, I wonder if I can move my screen down a little bit. Let's see if I can move this down. Let's see here. Okay, I'm going to try to move this down just a little bit. There we go. Right down here you can see that there's also, right here, let's see if it'll come up, you can actually click on this, which means download. And right down there, you can see it started to do it. You can actually download that onto your own computer at home. All right, let's go back to this and close that out. Okay, so some of the things I showed you again, you can go in and edit something. You can add comments to it. You can also print out your own copies, or you could download it to fix later. For example, if you were working on a piece of writing at school and then you came home, you could actually edit it or continue adding to it right here on your Google Drive. Or if you feel a little bit more comfortable, you could download a copy of it to your home computer and continue working on it there. Okay, now let's learn how to create a document or any other type of item on Google Drive. This would be great for a student who wants to send an essay to their teacher. Or if you're a parent, if you would like to send a quick letter to a teacher, you could do that on here too. So let's go right over here. To the left, you would click Create. When you click on Create, it brings up several options: a folder, document, presentation, which is kind of like a PowerPoint, spreadsheet, form, and drawing. So for this example, let's go to Document. This again opens up sort of a Microsoft Word looking picture, and what you're going to do is right here on here you can actually just start typing your paper. It's all the same. You got your bold, your italics, underlined, you can change your text colors, you can go to the middle. I mean, it's all pretty much exactly what you're used to working with anyway. Alright, so let's say that I'm a student. I'm example student 05, and I need to send my first part of my informational writing to my teacher. And so you just type right on here, informational writing number 1 by Mrs. Lawson. And you can go up here. I'm going to write about ancient Egypt. All right, and start my work. Blah, 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 blah. There's all your writing. Okay, so you write your essay, your piece of writing, whatever it happens to be that you are going to be sharing with your teacher. You go right up here once you're all done and you click on this button right here that says Share. Okay? It's going to ask you to title your document. So, informational writing number 1. I would even put my name just to be careful. Students, please make sure that you type something in right here. Whatever the title or the piece, the document that it is that you are sending, you need to put that on here. Because when this gets emailed to your teacher and it shows up in his or her Google Drive account, this right here, this title is what they see. So if you don't put anything, it just says untitled document. You really need to put something right there. Okay, so you're going to save that. And then it brings this page up. Okay, example student, this is you. Okay, example student, you are the owner. Right down here is where you are going to invite people to look at what it is that you are sharing. Teachers, in your Google Drive account, you can see this right here. See where it says groups? I actually made, because I teach 2 different sets of students, I made 2 different groups, and I put every single one of those kids' Google Drive account IDs in those groups So now when I type in something like 6th grade, okay, my group can come up on there. All right, so students, you're going to send this to your teacher. You need to know their Google Drive or their email, which it's pretty simple here in Ferguson Florissant. It's usually the first initial and their last name. So I'm going to pretend that I am the student and I am sending this to me, to Mrs. Lawson. So here it is. I click on myself. That's my teacher thing. You can write me a message if you need to. Right here, teachers, you can put on can edit. That is when the student can go in there and actually type right onto the document that you sent out. Right here, can comment is where they can make those comments, like that little button that was right up here in the corner, where you could take some quick grades on that. Or you could just click can view, which is like what I did with those field trip forms, so they can print it out, but they cannot change anything on there or make any comments. So that just depends on you. Students, I would make sure that you always keep it on can edit if you are sending it to your teacher, because then your teacher can go right in there and can fix anything that needs to be fixed for you, or point out things, or highlight some things and put comments to the side. It's a really great way to do some conferencing between the teacher and the student back and forth. Okay, so you've invited your teacher to look at your informational piece of writing. You can say send a copy to yourself if you want, but it's already in your Google Drive account, so you don't have to worry about that. You click send, and then you have one more step you have to do. You can still go here and just make sure that you have it how you want and save changes. Here's the final thing. This is something that my students always forget. You need to click done. Okay. That has been sent to your teacher. Go right up here, exit out. Okay, so as you can see, we're on the My Drive. Here's your information writing that you've written. Here's a memoir that you have written earlier. All of those things are saved. You start writing this at school, you can put it right here on your Google Drive, and then when you get home, you bring your Google Drive back up and it should still be sitting right there. I have one more thing to show you. I'm going to scoot this screen over a little bit. Okay, let me get out of this one so I can show you how to do this. Let's say that you're at home and you bring up your Microsoft Word and you're typing a document and you save it onto your computer at home. Let me show you how you can take a document and drag it over onto your Google Drive account, and then you can share it with somebody. So right over here, I've got my document. I have it saved on my desktop. You're going to click on it, hold down your mouse, drag it over, and then look what pops up. Incoming. Drop your files to instantly upload them to Drive. You're going to lift your finger up off your mouse, and then you see that it is uploading. You can do anything with this. You can put pictures on here. You can send music through this to your teacher if there's some sort of cool assignment that you're doing, or just regular old documents, PowerPoints, Excel spreadsheets, anything like that can be shared with your teacher just like that. Click on it, drag it over, drop it. Now that it's uploaded, click on your share, and that same page pops up again. And same thing again, you can just invite people. I'll put my name in there again. Here we go. Hit send, hit done, and there we go. It's shared. Go back to your Drive, just double checking one more time. Thinking of this like a folder, an online folder. Now you've got all of these different documents all saved right here into your Google Drive. So let's just review this one more time before this video is done. My Drive are all your personal items, any of your things that you're working on. Shared with me are things that your teacher probably will be sending to you for you to check out. And any of these other things you're more than welcome to look through. They're pretty self-explanatory. You got your trash and all of these different things like this. So those are not your big ones. The big ones you need to make sure you look at are the My Drive, your Shared with Me, and then your way to create something. Okay? All right, so just to double check so that you know how to get back into your Google Drive account, it is your first name, period, last name, period, your grade at fergflor.org, and then your password is your birthday. One more thing to mention, this right here, this grade part, this will change as you get older, as you move up through grades. So if you're a 6th grader right now, first name.last name.06, but once you become a 7th grader next year, this part will change. It will then be 07, then 08, then 09, as you can see. Okay, so just don't forget that. Don't freak out. Some of that stuff will change. So I suggest that if you have some things in your Google Drive that you really like, students, I would make sure to download that document onto your personal computer at home so that way you always have it. Okay. All right, everybody in the Ferguson-Florissant School District, I hope that you appreciate this video and I hope that it helps your students out, teachers, and parents.